marching to new heights of development under the dynamic and young leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant. A visionary leader, a meticulous administrator, tirelessly working on the dream to take Goa ahead. Goa Ahead is brought to you by the Department of Information and Publicity, Government of Goa.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of Goa Ahead. Before we move on to today's issue, let us first look at the top 3 happenings in Goa this week. Goa CM Pramod Sawant seeks detailed report from the Pollution Control Board about the coal handling activity at Goa's Mormugaon port.
कंट्रोल बोर्डाक इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स दिला की तेंच्यांनी एकदा रिविजीट करच्यो जे आमी तांकां परमिशन्स दिल्या सो लेट अस डू द रिविजीट फर्स्ट म्हणजे तांकां परमिशन्स दिल्ली रिविजीट करून तांचे तांकां एक रिपोर्ट सबमीट कर म्हटला हाव मच द पोल्युशन इज हॅपनिंग थ्रू दीस कोल एट प्रेझेंट कॅपेसिटीर आसतलो आनी जालो जाल्यार हांवें जशें म्हटलां की तो 50% सद्याच्या घडीक आमी रिड्यूस करतले आनी तेज्या उपरांत अदर कॉमोडिटीज ज्यो आसा त्या पोर्टा वयल्यान इदर इम्पोर्ट अदरवायज द एक्सपोर्ट ह्या पद्दतीन जर जालें जाल्यार आमकां कोल कंप्लीट बंद करपा खातीर वेगळे प्रोविजन कितें हाजो विचार सुरू केला.
Activists protest outside Mantralaya and Assembly Complex of Goa opposing proposed infrastructure projects for increase in coal handling as cabinet ministers enter the complex for a cabinet meeting. Delhi's electricity model versus Goa's power tariff becomes highlight of this week as Aam Aadmi Party and BJP slug it out in a public debate in Panji. Now let's move on to today's topic. Can Goa and coal exist together? Have a look at this reportage and then we shall head into the debate of this week.
What is your fate when a railway track in front of your house primarily transports coal? Renowned author Damodar Mauzo, who has his home next to the railway track at Majorda, shares his plight.
I painted my house some 2 years back. Within 6 months, I found there was a thin layer of coal powder on my walls. I can show you. Yeah. You will see. I just pull my hand like this, and you will find this black. You can see the black powder here. You just take it like this, and you will find the black dust. I don't know how much dust is in my lungs already.
And now, government wants to double this track. Affected locals want immediate stoppage of this double tracking, fearing increase in coal transportation.
We don't have any requirement of this coal in Goa. And this coal, which is going to come, is directly related to the crony capitalist. Now, why it is coming to Goa? If it is required in Karnataka or Maharashtra, can't it go? It can go. There are 3 ports in Karnataka, namely Karwar, Bellekeri and Mangalore. In Maharashtra, you have Jaigarh, which is already being operated by Jindal, who is also dealing in coal. Then why MPT? Because we have come to know, if they bring the coal to MPT, and then if they transport it by double track or by road or by the rivers which have been nationalized, and then finally it goes either to north of Karnataka, the companies based there, or the companies based in south of Maharashtra. They save 48 rupees per ton as freight charges. It is just not 48 rupees per ton. Since the total requirement per year is 136 million tons, it is 136 into 10 lakhs into this 48 rupees. So you can imagine such a massive profit.
Documents show that the authorities have been permitting coal handling of approximate 5 million metric tons per year since the year 2010.
Won't allow the MPT to cross the limit of the coal, which is already at present, it is the maximum limit of the coal they have reached, which is approximately, which is a 15 million ton. Won't allow them to cross the limit. The people unnecessary, they are talking about a 135 million, 145 million.
Ruling side and opposition are indulged in passing the buck and blame game. CM Pramod Sawant, promising to reduce the coal handling, appeals people to stop opposing infra project of double tracking. He blames Congress for the amount of coal handling in the state. But people have their own apprehensions. What if infrastructure gets ready now and union government goes ahead with its decision to increase coal handling? Governments will change. Decisions may be reversed, but the infra will remain for any and all use.
The environment minister also was saying we will get it protected with covering and all that thing. But where? Here is the proof. You can see this. You can see this, how they are protected and what does the saying empty bogies over here now with the coal inside it.
Unfortunately, the government is not in a position to listen to the people. This is undertaken only to meet the requirement of coal, to which we object, and we must object, tooth and nail.
Goa State Pollution Control Board had granted consent to operate to handle only 4.125 MMT during fiscal year 2016-2017. But the coal handling company, Southwest Port Limited, illegally handled over 10 MMT. After some negotiations and implementation of measures, coal handling resumed. Presently, import of coal at MPT is about 6.6 metric million tons per year. However, the moot question remains, can a touristic state like Goa and coal exist together? Documents accessed by activists reveal that the infrastructure is being developed to increase overall traffic of coal up to 14 million metric tons per year till 2020. Central government wants to increase overall traffic of coal up to 19 to 21 million metric tons per year till 2025 and up to 40 million metric tons per year till 2035. Mukesh Kumar for Goa Ahead.
As you have just seen, today we are discussing about the issue of coal handling in Goa. People are up in arms against government's plans to create massive infrastructure to facilitate additional coal handling at Goa's only port, the Mormugao Port Trust. For now, people are on the streets agitating against these projects, opposition parties are on the offensive, and the government is desperately trying to separate the issue of coal handling from that of infrastructure development. Today, I have on my panel 4 eminent panelists. Senior leader of the BJP and former Environment Minister of Goa, Rajendra Allekar. Senior Congress leader and former Environment Minister of Goa, Alex Sequeira. Spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Melissa Simoes. And the man who is tirelessly spearheading this public agitation, Captain Viriato Fernandes. All of you, welcome to the show. So, Captain, I'll start with you. Very simple question. Why do you think this agitation against coal handling has attained such a massive structure now?
It's there on the map of the world, tourism map of the world. And just by bringing coal, it's like problems of not only destruction of tourism, it's going to affect our health. Ami poila COVID time are almost 55% of the deaths, official numbers, all over Goa. The 55% happened in Vasco and in around Vasco, which doctors say that it is related to lowering the immunity because of constant inhaling of the coal dust. Then there are, we have this list of houses which are going to get destroyed. Today we were in Kansauli, Jennami Poile, as per the work order, there are more number of houses which are going to get demolished. Jenna itle destruction जावपाचे आसा आमचे गोयचे. The very idea of Goa is going to get destroyed. Then why are they pushing for this? That is why लोकांक आता कळून आयला
that they feel what we have made, the fight is not for us. The fight is for the next generation. Adun zalma neuna tanka lagun. That is why people have got this idea that yes, we have to fight for the future generations.
Mali sir, all opposition parties are practically now united on this issue. What is the stand of Aam Aadmi Party and what is your expectation from the government of Goa?
Any project or any developmental project or so-called developmental project should be Goa for goals. Simple. लोक ज्यांना म्हणता नाका म्हणून government ऐकूंक जाय. They should listen to the people. When people are now Captain Viriato, in fact, not only Captain Viriato, including the BJP MLAs have come up in arms and saying they don't want this. The constituents of their respective constituencies have very categorically stated that they do not want these projects. Whether it's IIT in Sattari, whether it's coal project, doubling of railways, whatever projects, people should be taken into consideration before putting these projects. High command you cannot decide based on that. That is why we as Aam Aadmi Party is very clear that if the people say they do not want this project, period, the project should not come. And this is the stand of Aam Aadmi Party and has been always right from the onset of the three linear destructive projects that are going to come into Goa.
Alesh Bab, you are former environment minister. Today BJP is saying that all these coal handling permissions were given during your tenure. How do you defend that?
See, the fact is, I was the environment minister from 2007 to 2012. But I'm sure you will agree with me. The transportation of coal started from Goa in the year 1999. So if you are personally trying to hold me responsible for permissions, I'm not. I was not minister in 1999. Yes, I was an MLA, but I was not a minister. Next point. I'm sure my friend and ex-colleague, Sri Adlekar, will agree with me that neither he as environment minister nor I as environment minister were members of Goa State Pollution Control Board. Goa State Pollution Control Board per se is an autonomous body, and if I may go a step further, members of this board are on the contrary appointed by Government of India. We recommend names to Government of India, to Ministry of Environment and Forests, and they approve the same. This is as far as the procedure is concerned.
Bob, how is government looking at this issue? I'm asking this very plainly because it looks like your government is trying to separate the issue of infrastructure development from coal handling and constantly saying now that, okay, we will reduce coal handling, but let the infrastructure projects go ahead. How do you defend this stance?
It is our government has already made its stance very clear. Pramod, let me ask you one question. Today's debate or whatever we are discussing, is it regarding coal or other projects? You are just telling us that this is government is trying to separate the issues, which is in fact these issues are separated not by the government, by the very projects themselves. What coal handling has to do with the double tracking of the railways, what coal handling has to do with the extension of our highways, what is the reason? I think coal handling is a different issue and that should be debated if at all is needed. I am certainly pained to see that the consent was given in the 2009, then again it was renewed. Again the consent, one more consent was given in 2012, just prior to the voting day. On 3rd of March, voting was held in Goa, and on 2nd of March, the consent by the GPSC was given. What was the need to this? Who are behind this?
Okay, I'll go to Alesh Bab. Alesh Bab can tell very serious charges leveled by Rajendra Allekar. You reply to those. Then I will go to Captain Viriato to
No, but
understand
I'm
whether
first.
these projects
I'm
and coal
first.
handling are in any way connected to each other. Alesh Bab.
No, I'm first going to finish where I'm going to continue where I stopped.
Yeah.
Being concerned about the health hazards that the citizens of Marmagua Taluka were facing, we took Shri Jairam Ramesh on a visit to the harbour area. We showed him what was happening. He phoned Mr. Vasan. Mr. Vasan was then the Union Minister for Shipping, discussed the issue with him on the 4th, and thereafter, on 9th November 2009, Shri Digambar Kamath wrote a letter to Shri Jairam Ramesh expressing the plight of the people of Vasco due to coal dust. On 18th November 2009, Shri Jairam Ramesh wrote a letter to Shri G.K. Vasan, who was then the Union Minister of Shipping, expressing his concern too. It was our demand that unloading of coal at Marmagua Harbour be stopped, and be stopped immediately. Now, coming to what Mr. Adlekar said, I am myself confused and surprised how the Goa State Pollution Board could grant a consent to establish 2 MPT, that berth number 7. Why am I surprised? Because voting was on 3rd of March. And I don't understand how during election code
You say, Alesh
anybody.
Bab, that couple of days before voting, Pollution Control Board grants renewal for biggest coal handling project in Goa, and your government had nothing to do with it.
See, when you talk of Goa Pollution Control Board having granted a renewal, let us not forget that this renewal was based on a consent given earlier. It is not that it was a fresh consent.
Okay. Captain, another point that Rajan Bab raised, that why are we mixing these two issues? Infrastructure development is a separate issue. Coal handling is a separate issue. Let us not mix both of them and stall both. How do you respond to that?
Yeah. Before that, I just want to tell this BJP Congress blaming each other, is not going to help us at all. At some point of time, both are, in each other's party, hand in gloves. If you see the 136 million tons of coal which is going to come, and when we see the master plan of MPT, which will be able to handle 51.1 million tons based on the condition that only double tracking. In fact, it is written triple tracking. It is written that people will oppose, so let us stick to double tracking. So this double tracking, if you remove, that 51 million ton transportation of coal just drops flat. You remove that thing. Second is expansion of national highways. I Sadhya Vasco, where Mr. Allekar is staying, the coal is being transported by trucks every day, passes through Lotoli, which is the constituency, ex-constituency of Mr. Sikvera. From Lotoli, it goes to Arlem Circle, turns towards the Borim, National Highway 566, goes to 748, and then it goes to Karnataka. This is the infrastructure which is actually supporting the transportation of coal. And now we see the third infrastructure, 400 kV line. It is coming up till Kollam with a substation. Now, there, Mr. Piyush Goyal, the Union Railway Minister, has said, we are going to stop the diesel engine, we are going to electrify. Now you require Sadhya, 2 engine in front, 3 engine at the back, to push the train with 59 wagons of coal up till Castle Rock. So if you stop this 400 kV line, there is no electrification of the engines. So if you see, that means it will be a problem to transport the coal. So all 3 projects, including the 9 jetties, wide letter dated 18th September 2017, they are actually connected with transportation of coal.
Okay,
You
Captain,
remove
yeah,
it.
Captain Political. Melissa, before I go to Rajan Bab, tell me one thing, is it fair to separate the infrastructure projects from the coal handling?
To respond to that, I am going to quote Mr. Parikar in his, where he has categorically stated on 17th of July 2013, where he was vehemently opposed to the doubling of railway track. And I quote, he has said, "We are not giving any permission for the double tracking because the tracks was mooted at the behest of few industries which want to transport coal from Mormugao Port Trust." Now, Mr. Arlikar should tell us that was Mr. Parikar lying? Was he fooling the people of Goa? Or is this government fooling the people of Goa? If they are saying that if they are not connected, how is it that Mr. Parikar stated that in 2013?
Rajan Bab, respond to those points one by one. Yeah.
If there is any problem with the health or hygiene for the people of Vasco, let us come together and decide how to handle that.
No, Rajan Bab, Rajan Bab, Melissa quoted Manohar Parrikar from 2013 and said that he admitted that these projects are at the behest of private parties. How do you respond to that?
No, let me tell you, if the project is coming there of double tracking and if it is used by private parties, what is wrong in it? If it is used for transportation of any other goods or even the coal, what is wrong in it? Is it not adding to our economy? Why should anybody come and oppose for this such nonsense? I think if the double tracking is coming, it is in the interest of Goa, in the interest of the people of Goa. So we should also support that.
But I personally believe that you are right. We have to solve pollution of coal. But I also believe that the day the coal issue is resolved, the day we can shift coal from Marmagao Harbour, there is no need thereafter for double tracking railway line. There is no need thereafter for, you see, even going and damaging the forest as is proposed. I definitely agree. We have to come to the solution, and the only solution is to shift coal from Marmagao port to some other port, maybe in Karnataka or in Maharashtra.
Yeah. Captain Viryato, final comments. What do you expect this government to do? Scrap all these projects, not increase coal handling. That is what you want.
I only request, enough is enough. The political parties, keep aside your differences, come together in the interest of Goa and save Goa. Stop this coal nonsense. Let us save Goa. What are we going to keep for the next generation?
Okay.
When the chief minister said, yes, I am convinced, and I will not allow double tracking.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
why is he going ahead?
Okay.
That he is convinced.
Yeah. Melissa, final words. What do you expect? Stop the infrastructure projects. Stop the increase in coal handling.
We are not stating stop infrastructure projects. What we are stating that if you are working in the benefit of a few capitalist cronies, that is not in the interest of the larger people who are 15 lakh people of Goa. If the chief minister has been very categorical and said that he's not interested in this project, but it is the high command, that means this government is not of Goans. This government finally listens to the high command. It is not listening to the people of Goa who has elected them. If they have we have elected you, be responsible. And if the people are coming at midnight during COVID pandemic times, you can imagine how frightened are they because of these linear projects.
Bab, final comments. What do you expect the government to do?
Immediately, my immediate demand, I'm calling it a demand, is, you see, our Honorable Chief Minister has said that the Union Minister of Railways or Shipping is supposed to come around 15 December, when we will take a final call vis-a-vis this coal handling, etc. I fail to understand. If that be so, then why doesn't he direct the railways to stop work immediately? Today, you see, in one mouth you're giving hope. You are one mouth saying we will discuss the issue with him and we will come to an understanding. Same breath you say what? We are going to reduce the import of coal over a gradual period of time. Stipulate the period within which you are going to reduce what is the time frame? In what time frame do you propose to bring the import of coal to go down to zero?
Okay.
If not zero, thank you.
Rajan Bab, final comments. How do you respond to all these questions, all these allegations and all these issues?
First thing, that government of Goa is very clear over all the issues. Government of Goa has already asked the people who are handling the coal in the at the port of Mormugaon, they have been asked to limit their activity. This is very clear. One more thing that I am trying to tell is this coal handling is a different issue, and double tracking, then extension of our highways are different issues. These are extension of highways and double tracking are in fact the roads to our development.
Now the government is trying to separate the issue of infrastructure development from coal handling, but it doesn't look like people are buying that argument. Because one thing is very clear, once the infrastructure is ready, what if the Mormugaon Port Trust or the Union of India changes stance? What happens then? I think that is the biggest question that is looming in the minds of the people. Thank you everybody for participating in this debate. I'm completely out of time. I stop here. Keep watching Goa Ahead.
Marching to new heights of development under the dynamic and young leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant. A visionary leader, a meticulous administrator, tirelessly working on the dream to take Goa ahead. Goa Ahead is brought to you by the Department of Information and Publicity, Government of Goa.